And the state system around the world is based on the manipulation of fear and hatred and suspicion, to divide us from one another, to say that we, members of this country, are special and different from members of that country. I absolutely detest patriotism. It is an awful thing. Let's get rid of this terrible, regressive state. You know? Why should I feel specially loyal to somebody else just because they happen to be born on the same piece of land I was? Why? I don't get it. It's their ideas I'm interested in. Can I form a community of ideas with this person or not? I don't care. I don't care what country they come from or what religion they were reared in or the color of their skin or any of that bullshit. And it's that bullshit that is being manipulated and managed to create this climate of fear and hatred and suspicion that's so horrible in the world today. And that's all about nations competing against nations, and it's time we moved on from that. I'm not talking about one world government. Don't get me wrong. I want no government whatsoever. I believe that human beings left to their own devices can act wisely and with love. I don't think we need the state to teach us to do that. I think that's one of the myths that's been passed down through history. And then, of course, we have the big corporations and that pernicious influence, the news media, which churn out 24 hours a day a continuous diet of horror and misery and fear and hatred and suspicion. All of this radically affecting our consciousness. A kind of consciousness monopoly is being imposed. And I think by giving an effective monopoly to a single state of consciousness, enforcing that monopoly with draconian criminal sanctions, I think it's a dangerous thing to do. It may even be a suicidal thing to do for our society. Yeah, I mean, that alert problem-solving state of consciousness, it's good for all kinds of things like this, you know, good for a bit of politics and commerce, so on and so forth. And there was a kind of endless promise in our society that we just, you know, did things that way, focused on the alert problem-solving state of consciousness, that we would somehow achieve some kind of, I don't know, material nirvana. But, you know, we've all been through the last decade, and clearly it's not true. Our big financial institutions cannot go on magically printing money forever and throwing it at the banks. The system is broken. It's just that the breaks in it are being cunningly concealed at the moment. And then, of course, it's a system that tolerates and generates enormous amounts of horrendous pollution around the world. And it's a system that has nuclear bombs. I mean, can you get crazier than that? To have whole societies that are investing in making nuclear weapons? I caught a little bit of the news today. Seems Jeremy Corbyn has got himself in trouble because he said that he would not press that fucking button. He would not press it. Well, good for him. I don't know much about Jeremy Corbyn, but good for him for saying that. And you know, the Tory media have come back with saying that he is actually threatening Britain's security by saying that. In other words, so actually not firing a nuclear bomb is a threat to security? Well, I mean, what on earth is going on? Isn't it obvious that we live in a completely insane, unconscious society? Completely insane. Otherwise, we'd all be just aghast at this kind of, we wouldn't tolerate a single nuclear weapon. No sane society ever would.